In the middle of the ocean, some fishermen are traveling in their boat. Everything seems completely normal, but then suddenly, a massive sea monster known as the Mosasaurus emerges from the depths of the ocean. It's so large that it swallows the entire boat whole in a single bite. All the fishermen fall into the cold, dark sea, and the dangerous creature disappears back into the depths of the water. Meanwhile, 4 years before this incident, the volcano on Isla Nublar had erupted. That eruption had completely destroyed Jurassic World, and all the dinosaurs had spread across the world. Now humans and dinosaurs live together in the same world, but there's no peace between them. Both are constantly in conflict. There's a very large company in the world called Biosyn Genetics. Its owner is a man named Louis Dodgson. He has built a massive sanctuary for dinosaurs in Italy's beautiful Dolomite Mountains. The company claims it's studying dinosaurs for science, but many dangerous secrets are hidden inside that place. Meanwhile, another piece of news is spreading across the world that a girl has gone missing. Her name is Maisie Lockwood. She isn't an ordinary girl, but a clone created by humans. Scientists secretly created her, and her DNA is an exact match for a woman named Charlotte Lockwood, who was Benjamin Lockwood's daughter. This was the same Benjamin Lockwood who helped build Jurassic Park. Now, the entire world is searching for Maisie. On the other side, Claire Deering, who used to work at Isla Nublar, is now on a mission to rescue dinosaurs that are being illegally bought and sold. She and her friend Zia sneak into a secret breeding center. There, dinosaurs are being kept in very bad conditions. Inside a dark warehouse, they find a small baby Triceratops locked up alone and very sick. Zia immediately understands that if help doesn't arrive soon, it will die. Claire decides there's no time to wait for the government. Together, they pull the small dinosaur's cage outside, and with the help of their friend Franklin, load it into a van. Just then, the criminals running the place arrive. Claire immediately starts the van and speeds away. The criminals chase them in their vehicles. To escape, Claire drives her van straight into a large herd of Triceratops. The massive dinosaurs collide with the criminals' vehicles and block their path. This way, Claire and her friends manage to escape safely. Meanwhile, in the mountains of Nevada, Owen Grady is on horseback, leading a herd of large herbivorous dinosaurs called Parasaurolophus to a safe location. Along the way, one dinosaur gets scared and separates from the herd. Owen calmly takes out a rope, throws it like a lasso, and ties it to a tree. Then he slowly and lovingly talks to it and wins its trust. Eventually, he brings it safely back to the herd. In a small secret cabin in the mountains, Maisie Lockwood is hiding. She can't go out openly because the entire world is searching for her. But Maisie has a very stubborn and adventurous nature. That's why she often secretly takes her bicycle and goes into the nearby town, even though going outside is extremely dangerous for her. After her grandfather's death, Claire is now the one taking care of her. She wants to keep Maisie hidden and safe, no matter what. But Maisie is very sad on the inside. She feels she isn't a real person because she's a clone, a copy of someone else. Claire hugs her and explains that being a clone doesn't mean she's any less special. She's just as unique and important as any other person. At that same time, Owen returns home. Claire kisses him and quietly tells him that Maisie has gone into town again. Both of them look at each other with worry because they know it isn't possible to keep Maisie hidden forever. A short distance from the cabin lives a velociraptor named Blue, whom Owen raised and trained since childhood. Now Blue has a baby of her own, too, named Beta. Beta looks exactly like her mother because she's also a genetic copy of her. Blue tries to teach her baby to hunt. She catches a rabbit and places it in front of Beta so she can learn. But suddenly a wolf comes along and steals the rabbit and runs away. Beta gets scared seeing this. That night, Blue and Beta are resting near a fire. Just then, a man named Rain is talking to his boss on the phone. He had been secretly following Owen for several days and now knew everything about Maisie, Blue, and Beta. His boss, and a dangerous plan begins. Meanwhile, in Texas, 2 small children are tending to their farm's chickens. Just then, they spot a strange, very large insect on the wooden fence. Before music they can understand anything. A massive swarm of locusts covers the sky above the fields. Millions of giant locusts eat every single plant within minutes. The children run away in fear and hide in the barn. The next day, scientist Dr. Ellie Sattler arrives there to investigate. She finds out that these giant locusts have destroyed more than 60 farms so far. But then she notices something strange. A nearby farm was completely safe. Its crops were untouched. Upon investigating, Ellie finds out that seeds made by Biosyn Company were used on that farm. Seeing this, she becomes suspicious that Biosyn deliberately created these dangerous locusts so that all the other crops would be destroyed and farmers would be forced to buy only their company's seeds. To find out the truth, Ellie goes to Utah to meet her old friend, Dr. Alan Grant, who's a dinosaur expert. She shows him a giant locust. Alan is astonished because he had never seen such a creature before. Ellie explains that if these insects keep spreading like this, famine will spread across the entire world and millions of people could starve to death. That's why she tells Alan they need to go to Biosyn's headquarters and steal DNA evidence from there to prove that the company is behind all of this. Meanwhile, at the cabin at night, Maisie comes outside and lights a small fire to keep herself warm. Just then, she notices some movement among the trees. Scared, she looks closely and Beta is standing there, quietly watching her. As Maisie slowly moves closer, Blue comes out of the darkness. Owen, who has just quietly come outside, tells Maisie to stand completely still and not move. Owen slowly approaches his old friend Blue. Blue looks at him and then slowly walks into the forest. Owen follows her. He tells Maisie to go back to the cabin and wait. But Maisie is angry. She's tired of always being told what to do and where to go. She grabs her bicycle and rides out onto the forest road. She doesn't know that Rain is watching her from behind the trees. He immediately contacts the criminal gang and tells them exactly where she is. At that same time, a group of hunters suddenly attacks in the forest. They throw a net over Beta and capture her. Blue runs to protect her baby, but the hunters throw her down from the edge of a cliff. Owen hears Blue's screams echoing through the forest, but he's too far away and can't stop them from taking Beta. Meanwhile, as Maisie is crossing a bridge on her bicycle, the criminals surround her from all sides. They catch her. Owen watches helplessly from a distance. He runs back to the cabin and tells Claire that Maisie has been kidnapped. He picks up his gun and prepares to go after them. Just then, Blue appears at the cabin door. Her eyes are filled with fear and grief for her stolen baby. Owen promises her that he'll bring Beta back home. Claire calls a contact for help. Her friend Franklin, using his computer skills, manages to track down the hunter Rain. Franklin tells Claire that some of his undercover agents are secretly working inside that criminal group and they can help find out where Rain is hiding. Owen and Claire travel to Malta, Italy, where illegal dinosaur trading is taking place. There, they meet their old colleague Barry. He takes them to an underground fighting ring, a hidden place where criminals force dinosaurs to fight each other in front of an audience for money. It's a very dark and violent place. Inside the ring, Owen and Claire spot Kayla Watts, an American pilot who has been hired to transport the stolen baby dinosaur. Claire approaches Kayla and quietly asks for her help finding Maisie, but Kayla refuses. She's scared. Getting involved with these criminals could cost her her life. The criminal boss running this operation is a woman named Soyona Santos. She congratulates her men for successfully capturing both the girl and the dinosaur. After this, she assigns Rain and another criminal named Wyatt a new task, transporting a truck full of Atrociraptors. These are incredibly fast and ferocious dinosaurs, trained to hunt down and kill anyone. Their owner targets with a laser pointer. Just as the criminals are collecting their payment, undercover agents suddenly arrive to arrest them. But in the chaos, both Rain and Soyona escape. Owen chases Rain on foot. To distract Owen, Rain frees two hunters from their cages and tries to escape. Owen fights off those creatures and then gets into a scuffle with Rain. Owen wins. He pins Rain down and asks where Maisie is. Rain tells him that she was handed over to Soyona and then taken to Biosyn. Owen leaves Rain lying there on the ground where nearby agents are present. The undercover agents surround Soyona. She uses her laser device to target the agents and unleashes her Atrociraptors on them. The agents scatter and start running. Just then, Claire arrives there. She grabs a stun gun and directly attacks Soyona. After a fierce fight, Claire defeats her and finds out that Maisie has been taken to Biosyn's headquarters. But then an Atrociraptor arrives and Soyona points the laser at Claire, making her the new target. The raptor immediately turns and chases after Claire. Claire runs fast and dashes up and down the stairs of a tall building, with the dinosaur running on the walls at incredible speed right behind her. With nowhere else to go, Claire jumps to the neighboring building. Watching all this from below in her truck, Kayla senses the danger. She wants to help, and just then, Kayla arrives below on the street with her truck. Claire has no way to escape, so she jumps straight down from the height onto the truck and somehow survives. Meanwhile, the dinosaur is left behind. On the other side, Owen also finds himself in danger. The rest of the Atrociraptors are set loose on him. Owen immediately starts his bike and speeds off through Malta's narrow streets. The raptors chase him from behind, leaping over cars. People run around in fear, and the entire city descends into chaos. Owen barely manages to save himself and cleverly makes the raptors collide with each other. Eventually, he somehow manages to shake them off. After this, Owen, Claire, and Kayla sit together and decide that no matter what, they need to bring Maisie and Beta back. Kayla is initially very scared because Biosyn Isone of the most dangerous companies in the world, but in the end, she agrees to help them. Meanwhile, Dr. Ellie Sattler and Alan Grant have also reached Biosyn's headquarters, built in Italy's Dolomite Mountains. There, they meet their old friend, Dr. Ian Malcolm, who now works at Biosyn. Ian secretly tells them that the company puts on a show of scientific research from the outside, but very dangerous experiments are going on inside. He warns them that surveillance is present everywhere here, and if they're caught, it will be hard to escape. Meanwhile, Maisie is being kept in Biosyn's high-security lab. Scientists are researching her DNA, because she's the world's first successful human clone. Maisie gradually finds out that her mother, Charlotte Lockwood, hadn't just created her as a clone, but had also made a change in her body that could cure a fatal disease. That's exactly why Biosyn wants to use her genes to gain control over the world. Meanwhile, the small dinosaur Beta has also been captured, and experiments are being conducted on her. A short while later, Owen, Claire, and Kayla board a small plane and fly toward Biosyn. But along the way, giant flying Quetzalcoatlus dinosaurs attack their plane. They badly damage the aircraft's engine. The plane loses control and crashes with fire in the mountains. The crash is extremely dangerous, but all three of them somehow survive. Now, they're stranded in an area surrounded by forests and mountains, where dangerous dinosaurs roam everywhere. Meanwhile, Ellie and Alan quietly manage to collect DNA samples from those giant locusts to prove that Biosyn created them to spread this destruction throughout the world. When Dr. Wu is busy talking to Lewis, Maisie quickly takes action. She sneaks into the room where Beta is locked in a cage and opens the door. Beta is freed. Immediately, alarms start ringing throughout the entire facility. This sudden noise and chaos excites the giant locusts locked in their control room. They start crashing into everything in their path, attacking anything that comes their way. Wu and Lewis run to escape the room. In the corridor, they run into Maisie. All three of them start running together. Owen and Caleb brace themselves as the plane crashes. But surprisingly, another parachute was hidden in the other seat, and they manage to slow their fall enough to land safely on the ground. Back inside Biosyn at the train station, Ellie, Alan, and Ramsey are preparing to leave with the DNA samples. But Lewis has been informed that one of the facility's security guards showed him a security recording of Ellie and Alan stealing from the lab. And the biggest suspect helping them is Ian Malcolm. Lewis cuts the power to the hypersonic train they were planning to escape on. The team is trapped. They need another way out. Lewis calls Ian into his office and fires him. But Ian isn't ready to give up yet. With Ramsey's quiet help, he steals a car and sets out to find his friends. Alan, Ellie, and Ramsey run wildly through the facility trying to find a way out. Every time they think they're safe, a new dinosaur appears around the corner. They reach a dead end. A closed iron door blocks their only way out. They try frantically to open it. Ian arrives there in his stolen car and gets out to help. Music, he tries to guess the password to open the door. He can't do it, but Ramsey manages to hack the system remotely and the door opens. They escape. After cutting herself free from the parachute seat caught in a tree, Claire lands safely on the ground. She's inside the dense, dark forest surrounding the Biosyn sanctuary. As she quietly crawls through the trees, a Therizinosaurus, a large dinosaur with huge curved claws like giant sickles, suddenly appears. Claire stays completely still. The creature doesn't spot her. When it finally moves away, Claire gets up and continues moving toward the facility. But then she realizes someone is following her. She dives into a shallow lake and stays hidden underwater until the creature leaves. Then she gets up and keeps moving forward. Owen and Kayla also survive the crash. They're carefully walking across a frozen lake trying to stay calm and controlled. The ice is thin and could break at any moment. But then a large winged dinosaur appears. It dives straight through the ice, into the water below, and swims rapidly beneath the ice. Chasing their footsteps, they run. The ice starts cracking and breaking beneath their feet. Owen falls through the breaking ice into the cold water. The dinosaur is right below him and about to bite. Kayla grabs his hand and pulls him out. They run across the breaking ice toward a bridge. Reaching it, they run toward an elevator. They're safe for now. They use the signal from Claire's ejector seat to figure out where she landed. They find the location, but Claire isn't there. Nearby, a T-Rex is eating the same dead deer that the Therizinosaurus had killed. Suddenly, a Giganotosaurus, an even bigger predator than the T-Rex, charges in and snatches the prey right out of the T-Rex's mouth. The T-Rex backs away in fear. Inside the facility, Lewis is furious. He has watched his world get destroyed. To avoid being exposed as the creator of the giant locusts, He orders his staff to burn all the locusts in the incinerator. But the burning insects go mad. They break out of their control room and fly off into the surrounding forest. Their bodies are literally engulfed in flames, spreading fire everywhere. The entire forest starts burning. Ian is driving his stolen car when suddenly the sky fills with thousands of burning locusts. They surround his car. He swerves and the car flips over, but everyone inside is fine. Owen and Claire, who have reached the forest, find Ian and the others near the overturned car. Seeing Maisie standing there safely, Claire is filled with relief. As the group breathes a sigh of relief, they hug each other tightly. Just then, the Giganotosaurus comes crashing through the trees toward them. Everyone runs, everyone except Ian, who ducks and hides inside the overturned car. The Giganotosaurus gets close to the rest of the group. They're completely surrounded with nowhere to go. Just then, Ian comes out from behind the car. He raises a stick, with a burning locust on it to draw the creature's attention. The massive predator turns and stares at him. Ian stands his ground for one terrifying second. Then, he throws the burning insect straight into the Giganotosaurus's mouth. In the shock and chaos, everyone quickly runs inside the facility and closes the doors. But the Giganotosaurus gets angry and breaks through the glass walls to reach them. Claire grabs a stun gun and fires it directly at the creature's eye. It roars in pain and backs away. The group runs deeper into the building. Ramsey meets up with the group and leads them toward a helicopter, which is waiting to fly them all out. Before they leave, Owen stays behind for one last task. He had promised Blue that he would bring Beta back. He has 10 minutes before the helicopter leaves. Maisie and Alan come along to help him. They find Beta inside the burning forest. Maisie moves forward and gently distracts Beta, while Owen carefully aims a tranquilizer dart. He fires, and the shot lands true. Beta safely falls unconscious. Lewis Dodgson boards the underground hypersonic train trying to escape the burning, chaos-filled facility. But the power is out, and the train stops inside a dark tunnel. Lewis has to get out and walk on foot. As he stumbles forward in the darkness, he hears clicking sounds. A Dilophosaurus, a dinosaur that spits blinding venom, emerges from the shadows. Then another one appears, and Lewis Dodgson, the man who started all of this, is killed in the tunnel. As the group runs toward the helicopter, Dr. Henry Wu stops them. He steps forward and admits that he was the one who created the giant locusts and caused this ecological crisis that has become a threat to the world's food supply. He asks Maisie for help. He needs her unique DNA to find a way to fix the mistake he made. Maisie thinks for a moment. She agrees to help. Dr. Wu begins his work. The group runs out of the facility toward the helicopter where Kayla is waiting. But at that exact moment, both the Giganotosaurus and the T-Rex appear in the open field in front of them. The two massive predators immediately begin a brutal, ferocious battle to determine who will rule this territory. To survive, the group has to run and dodge between their giant footsteps and colliding bodies. The fight is extremely fierce. Within a few minutes, the Giganotosaurus gains the upper hand. It pins down the T-Rex. It seems like the T-Rex's fight is over. Just then, the Therizinosaurus arrives. It jumps into the fight and attacks the Giganotosaurus with its huge, sickle-like sharp claws. At that same moment, the T-Rex, whom everyone thought was finished, gets back up on its feet. The T-Rex and the Therizinosaurus fight together against a common enemy. The battle ends when the Giganotosaurus, pushed backward, falls onto the Therizinosaurus's long claws. The massive predator is killed. The T-Rex stands victorious once again, proud and strong. This throne belongs to her. The next morning, news teams arrive at the destroyed Biosyn facility. Former Biosyn employees come forward and start exposing all the company's secret crimes. Ellie and Alan, after years apart, finally come together as a couple. After going through all of this to help save the world, they can finally go home together. In the coming weeks, Dr. Wu successfully uses what he learned from Maisie's DNA to alter the genes of the giant locusts. The epidemic stops. The crops are saved. The United Nations announces that the valley where Biosyn's headquarters once stood will become a protected global sanctuary where dinosaurs can live freely and safely away from human interference. Owen returns home. True to his promise, he goes to Blue and gently returns Beta to her mother. Blue looks at her daughter and then looks up at Owen. For just a moment, a quiet understanding passes between the two old friends. Then, Blue takes Beta and disappears into the forest.